Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Falling Forward Financial. Just another article that I came across here I thought was very interesting. This came out yesterday at 11:09. So last year on February 10th, when MJ was at an all-time high, prior to that, they were for legalization. Then I think on that date, Schumer came out and said under the Biden administration they were not going to legalize it under Biden being in office. February 10th, I believe I did a video on saying Schumer was going to try to put MJ back on the ballot, if you will, vote it, get it legalized. And now I come across this: Biden administration advises applicants not to invest in MJ companies. Is federal legalization behind this? So make up your mind, people. I don't think he knows where his mind is sometimes, but the Biden administration recently expanded its employee conduct guidelines to potentially decline security clearance to people who have backed MJ-related business. Eligibility may be negatively impacted if an individual knowingly and directly invests in stocks or business ventures that specifically pertain to MJ growers and retailers, according to the document obtained by political decisions. To willfully invest in such activity could reflect a questionable judgment and an unwillingness to comply with laws, rules, and regulation. It looks like the federal government is working on updating its human resources policies to keep up with the development of the seemingly unstoppable MJ industry, seeing that 37 states and the District of Columbia have already legalized MJ for either medical or recreation. So, yes, just what I said. I'm sorry, this article just kind of pisses me off. It's just say one thing, get in the office, and then renegotiate, and now who knows what they're doing. So the White House seems to be taking off. Notice how I didn't say this because not my president. Seems to be taking a kind of loosening approach to MJ use than its predecessors. Shortly after setting up the Oval Office, Biden issued a memo stating that prior MJ use would not automatically disqualify applicants. Nevertheless, this did not actually happen. That should be his motto on a t-shirt. This did not actually happen. Last year, several White House staffers were fired due to prior MJ use. Interesting. Hence, the new guidance makes things even more confusing. On one hand, the presentation says the MJ-related investment through a diversified mutual fund that is publicly traded on the U.S. exchange should be considered to have been made unwittingly, but on the other hand, the presentation clearly states not knowing is not an excuse. Furthermore, the updated guidance also notes that the new guidance also states the divestment or disassociation of willful direct investment in such activities should be considered mitigating factor. The chaos continues or is an indication of federal legalization plans. Who knows why he's in office, so there I said it. The real question here is which MJ stocks the White House is alluding to. As well known, the American MJ companies can't be traded on major U.S. exchanges because they are not federally legally businesses. That means that the U.S.-based MJ companies usually list on the Canadian Securities Exchange or on lower-tier stock exchange in a country where MJ is legal. That's very interesting. Neither the New York Stock Exchange nor NASDAQ exchanges accept companies that sell MJ in the United States, even when operating in the states where adult use consumption is now legal. For simple reasons, federal law trumps state law. So unfortunately, that is true. So like Tilray that I've talked about this week, Hexo I've talked about this week, do list on these exchanges, and when it comes to their operations in the United States, they don't touch the MJ plant, but rather remain focused on hemp-driven CBD. So here's the question: could it be the issuance of new guidance indicates possible or imminent federal legalization, with the government's intentions to be prepared with the policies so as to avoid conflicts of interest? Anything is possible, especially with this administration. After all, during the 2020 presidential campaign, Biden repeatedly said that he wanted to see MJ decriminalization, as well as automatic expungement of our prior MJ convictions. After a full year in the Oval Office, Americans have seen neither. Let me say again, neither. So perhaps the president has finally decided to make good on his campaign promise. So yes, mixed signals. You're probably thinking I'm giving mixed signals, but I'm just presenting news through my videos. This just makes my head spin sometimes. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, just like everything else that they do, but that's for another story. But if you have any information on this, or in regards to federal legalization, if you think federal legalization is behind this, I honestly don't know. The way I look at it, when they ran them, everything was running up last year on the 10th, and then they come out and said it would not be legal under Biden. I almost wonder if that was the plan, just to run them all down so they could buy stocks and then come out on February 10th this year, and then come out this year and say they were going to push for it again. I honestly don't know. That's just one way that I look at it. I know there is insider trading. I just hate to even name any names between Pelosi and Tesla and Microsoft. If you do any research on that, they pushed EVs. She did her options on Tesla. The options ran up, made millions. Same thing with Microsoft. There was some Microsoft something in regards to the Army, some war, the military that they provided products for. I believe she did an option on that, made millions off of it. So that's just two examples. I'm sure there's hundreds of others. But that's my rant for this. If you have any more information on this, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'm hoping this one gets some comments and gets a bunch of views, as I wasn't surprised. I was kind of pissed when I read this, but again, wasn't at all surprised. So if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is J Money, following Forward Financial. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.